All right, everybody, welcome back to the Midnite Snak podcast, where we have the goods to keep you up at night. With me today, as always, is the eye candy of the show, Austin.
Hello.
Not awkward at all. Behind the camera, Justin. Oh, my microphone's kicking out. Yay. And then I'm Brandon. So today, we're going to take a different turn than we did yesterday. Yesterday was kind of like we're just hanging out, having fun. This one's going to be serious. We're coming to talk to you about your car's extended warranty. By that, I mean church.
That's good.
Want to elaborate?
Church?
Church.
Church. Wow.
Church.
Description.
Or, church, religion,
Or
Bible,
like-
whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, this kind of like what religion means, or like how I see religion.
I mean, it's.
Like
I guess. I mean,
My
at
walk
first,
with it.
I guess we could say that we met at
Walk.
church,
Yeah, we met at church long time ago. I'll
and
just
we
say that.
both grew up in church, understood it
Yeah.
in and out, which I think is somewhat. I view it as more of a negative because instead of finding it myself, I was like, it was given to me. I wouldn't even say forced.
I would say forced on my end.
Not on my end.
Connected.
What was that?
I have no idea, but you can keep going.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you actually listen on the stream and make sure audio's coming in clear this time?
I have
Because
no idea
last
what-
week the audio kept going really echoey and then robotic at times.
Yesterday.
So it might be a good
Yes.
idea before we get too deep into this shit.
What'd you hit?
Okay, audio's
you're
working
chilling.
sweet. So I just see it as a negative to grow up in the church because you didn't get to choose it.
Yeah.
And I think that takes some power away. So
What those?
I've been trying to reestablish my faith in a way that I choose it rather than it being chosen for me. I've tried anyway,
Yeah.
When you're 22, it's not exactly the most attractive thing
I mean,
to go to church every day.
you
or
know why I don't
read
go
the
to
Bible.
church.
Well, yes, and that's probably what we're going to get into
Yeah.
as well as the failures of church, unfortunately. And I
Yeah.
think it's like now that the church has very limited power, you're actually seeing a lot of shit happen because of that. But,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
think unfortunately some I guess some churches are turning more people away from the idea of God or who Christ really is rather than
a lot of them.
yeah.
A lot.
And I think it's unfortunate. I mean, it's also I guess it's predictable. I mean, you even go back in the original teachings, like every time that Paul was talking to any of the churches, he would first address everything that they were doing wrong. It's like I think this people having problem with churches and churches' flaws has been around since church began, and that's not necessarily to diminish the idea of church and the importance either.
Mm-hmm.
But
Damn, you looking sexy from that position,
Justin's
bro.
kneeling
Gonna
at
make
the
me
altar, and
act up.
his ass is looking nice and
I saw
juicy.
some skin.
I'm not a
shit.
Catholic, but man, I might tap that ass, that altar boy ass.
Damn, bro.
Damn, son.
But,
Where'd you find the ass?
I mean, when did I stop going to church? I was 18,
18?
19, 18,
So
19.
that would have been 20. Was it before or after
was-
Africa?
It was after, right? Yeah. Yeah, because I was still,
Yeah.
no, I graduated before.
So I think that
went
was
to Africa.
2017.
Okay.
Because you graduated before Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I went like that year, like after I graduated. So I was either still 18 or I was
You were
19.
you were 19
Was
when in Africa anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I was 19, somewhere around there. I don't even know how to begin this. Like slowly, I guess I just noticed a shift or a change within the church with everyone I grew up with. I mean, I started going there when I was born. I was in the pre-K, like baby.
It wasn't my family and I's first
no,
church because we
I know
moved,
that.
but
You guys were
yeah, it wasn't until I was
originally
like 6. So
in another state, but so I grew up since birth into that church, and I was really taken back. I was kind of like, what's going on? Like, I'm not like super big into like everyone there. I mean, you guys were my main friends.
yeah,
And but I had like others, but not really like close, like really close friends. But I was still good on like good terms on with everybody and everyone. But and then all of a sudden, like I would go up to people and they would just like not talk to me. I was like, okay. Like I would say hello.
It's definitely
and they would
strange,
just,
especially at a church.
yeah. Like I grew up there. I hang out occasionally with these people throughout,
Yeah.
the week sometimes, and just all of a sudden, just boom, no one talking to me. Like I would be in a group, I would like come in, I'd be like, hey man, how are you guys doing? Like how I normally would, and no answer, and they would just continue talking, and then I think it was, can't say their name, but I tapped one of the people that we know.
I was definitely oblivious to all of this starting out. I didn't even see all of it until I got a little bit older, and then I saw most of it.
Yeah.
Even in
But-
myself, even though I didn't do anything to anybody, or there wasn't like any kind of, as far as I know, there's not any gossip about me. But I started to notice that people stopped talking to me, and it was probably right after my parents left. People stopped caring to talk to me, even though they had known me for 6 or 7 years. They just stopped. I was like, okay, this is weird.
Well, so anyways, come to eventually find out. Well, I would like go up to like our youth pastor or our
Is it?
young adults.
Yeah. Okay.
I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, Jared, how are you?"
Yeah.
Call him Jared, and then he was just like, just walked straight past me, didn't acknowledge I was there. Then no one did. Whoever I went to go talk to, except for like grown-ups, they would acknowledge me.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
Yeah.
I feel invisible.
Yeah.
I died.
It's like you died and you're just in the church.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, that's
help
what
me."
it felt like.
Well, until someone else acknowledges you too.
Yeah, and no one even came up to me and acknowledged me, and so eventually, like I just slowly just stopped going. I'd go like every once in a while, and then I stopped, and then eventually I just stopped going, and then my parents were like, all of a sudden I heard them arguing downstairs, and I was like, I heard my name. What are they talking? They talking mad shit about me. What's going on? So, I go downstairs and I'm like, who's got a problem? Not really. I was like, what's up? And they're like, yeah, there's some bullshit rumors basically going around that.
And you're like, that makes sense.
And I was like, who's, first off, I was instantly with anger.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
would be too.
Instantly. I was like, who mentioned this? Because I'll go put their head through a wall right now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was pissed. And it was our youth leader and children's pastor that made up these accusations against me. And it showed really their true colors. And that's really sad, really disappointing, to be honest, because, I mean, those are figures, in
They're
the
supposed
church.
to be the spiritual
They
leaders
did
of
it
the
not
church.
to
and
just
they
me
would-
either.
and
They
would
did it
die
to a number of
so
families
low.
there.
Yeah, I noticed,
And
again, when all of my family wasn't around, they did the same thing to me. They didn't make rumors, but they just ghosted me. They didn't care to talk to me anymore.
but how just childish do you have to be to start a rumor about a young kid when you're in your 30s?
As
Or
far as I
30s
could
and
tell, they
40s.
wanted you away from the church for some
Yeah.
reason.
What were they threatened? Big dick energy over here, and they were just like compensating for their micro penis or something. Like,
I don't know.
it's like, Jesus, man, like, what the fuck did I ever do to you?
In fact,
except for
that's why I still go to
Well-
church regardless, because the more and more that they try to get me to leave, the more and more I want to stay. Because I don't
See-
want to give them the satisfaction of pushing me away.
It wasn't that.
And
it wasn't
that
anything.
I don't apply that to your case because you should find somewhere else because that's
Yeah.
not acceptable in any means.
Well, also,
or by any
I know
means.
myself, and I know if one time I heard one of them, or they went up to me and been like, "Hey, how are you?"
You would snap.
have snapped,
Yeah.
and I would have gone to jail. Basically, I mean, young teenager beats up youth pastor at church.
Yeah.
On media.
yeah.
Just everywhere. Like, that's what would have happened, and I know that, and that's why I was like, I'm not gonna confront this. I know myself way too well. I'm just gonna stay as far away as I can until basically I saw one of them downtown one time when I was on my motorcycle. I stopped in to a coffee shop and went to go use the restroom, and we just locked eyes, and I just was like, I just kind of shook my head, and then I just continued walking to the bathroom, and then he just like looked down. I was like, yeah. It was
Yeah, no, I was with
disappointing.
Austin and my dad. I basically told them my frustrations because it's like they didn't acknowledge me at all. Didn't say hello or anything.
right.
And
Explain who this Austin is.
my oldest brother.
Yeah, they just don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Well-
I guess I should. Yeah, I didn't say my
So they
oldest
don't
brother,
get confused
Austin.
with that
Oldest
Austin.
True. And we were talking about that and how it really made me feel. And then from what my dad said, I can put his words, hopefully I can say it correctly, is that some pastors do it because it's a job and some do it because it's a passion. And for me
What's
now,
their
I can.
excuse?
No, they do it because it's a job. They only cared so much as it being their job. But the
but they
second you were
so
no longer
childish.
their job,
They loved
the clicks.
They loved it.
Yeah. Well, that's
they were
not
children
passion for it.
themselves.
Like
no.
with the Eric and Kelly, I can say their names, I think.
Yeah.
With Eric and Kelly, you could tell that they had a passion. They
Yeah,
would go
they
to people in the youth group. If they had a game that was important to them, they would try to show up.
Exactly.
And they would do all these
Yeah.
extracurricular activities, even though they weren't being paid because it was a passion for them.
What was it? I think Eric and Kelly came to one of my baseball games one time.
Yeah.
Like a long time
and
ago.
they cared, and that's the difference
Yeah,
between
like-
them and
Mm-hmm.
because I mean I think it was helpful for me because it helped me not internalize it as it's my fault that they don't care,
Right. Right.
which I get is irrational, but it's still like for me to have someone you're that friendly with, for me anyway, and I didn't get any inkling until like I graduated, and then immediately they ghost you. I don't know what it is, but that really just it makes me feel like I did something.
Mhm.
So they
Yeah.
ghosted me for like 2 years, and I think what made matters worse is I didn't invite them to my wedding.
Who?
And in fact, it
Oh,
was because
Eric and Kelly?
yeah, no, it was no, not Eric and Kelly,
Oh,
but
you
Jared and
mean-
Stephanie. It was more so my wife's choice than my choice. But even then, we had such a limited crowd, and I was
Yeah.
like,
That would have been really awkward if they went though.
for me, the icing on the cake as to not invite them for me, and it was a choice not to invite them. It wasn't because there wasn't space. Was during Austin's wedding, which was slightly before mine. It was like a couple months. Jared officiated, and I went to go shake his hand. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And didn't shake my hand, didn't say hello, just made
Yeah.
it everything awkward, and
Yeah.
like turned it on me and tried to make me feel awkward. And immediately from that point on, I'm like, "You're not my friend. You don't care about me. So why in hell would
well,
I invite you to
They
my
were
wedding?"
never my friend though. Like that was the difference.
At
Like,
least I didn't come off as. I thought of them as friends for the most part,
I mean we've
from what I
kind of-
remember.
We've kind of talked about this though. Why I think the other one not
Which one?
Jay, not Jay, but
E.
let's see what is it?
Oh, well, other
Children's
J.
pastor.
Other J.
Yeah, other Jay. Why he didn't like us is because we spoke up when
True.
when we saw shit was wrong. We were very blunt.
Well, and the
very
other
blunt
thing,
and
too,
open. We're
was-
like,
two things told me about his character. One, whenever we played dodgeball that one time in the gym,
Oh
that
my
told
God.
me infinitely his character. He cared less about fairness than he did winning.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't
was-
do that as
it
a
was-
pastor. First off, even if it is your child, you can't do that.
Well-
If you have to be at least have some semblance of respect for yourself to try to be as unbiased as possible in the eyes of everybody else.
he's one of those people that give a trophy to his children just for playing. That's how I saw that.
Yeah.
Because they were on the other team, because it was a tournament. They were on the other team. This was the final,
Yeah.
and he was the referee, and then we were killing them, dude.
Yep.
We were slaughtering them, but he's like, nope, that doesn't count. Nope, that doesn't count. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean that doesn't count when I'm hitting them?
Well,
in
not
the
only
chest?
that, they completely removed the rule that if you're holding on to a dodgeball, you have to throw it within 10 seconds. Otherwise, you got to pass it off to the other side.
But their team were holding on to the balls the whole entire
like
time.
I said,
and he's calling us out, and we're like, hypocrite, you dumb fuck.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Are you kidding me?
Well, and then whenever we protested, he's like, okay, we'll put a ball right there in the right in the middle line. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, that's fair. It's like, set a trap first, why don't you? That's not the same thing. This isn't even fun anymore. This isn't dodgeball. This is who can get one person out and then hold on to the balls for the rest of the game. Oh, you win by 1 point, therefore you won. It's like, okay, that's like if in soccer you score 1 goal and the goalie can just hold on to the ball for the entirety of the game until the game is over. It's like, that's not fun. That's not fair. Nor is it a game anymore. It's just. And then the second thing that told me about his character is, last time I played Ultimate Frisbee, it was with basically everyone except for you guys. And the entirety of the game, nothing happened, but I was trying to prevent James from throwing, and I go to basically try to swat the Frisbee down, and I accidentally make contact with his hand, which is very common, and every time that we did that, we're like, okay, yeah, I guess I shouldn't have hit your hand, I'm sorry. But he's like, no.
Care about that.
He was like, no. In the rule book, I get to go wherever it dropped, pick it up, and I can throw it. And I was like, so we're going to play by new rules today? And I literally said it. I was so frustrated. So let's play by new rules, okay? Well, by the official rules, I can bump into you and make you knock over. Is that okay? It's like, come on. This is so stupid. It's like, let us just play the game. Stop trying to manipulate it to win. It was just, ugh.
Do you remember the
so
time?
Frustrating.
Do you remember the time when we played prison rules?
For which game?
For Ultimate Frisbee.
I don't.
And tackling was illegal.
That would
and
be,
everything.
I don't remember that at all. No. Because
it was
we had someone break their ankle and pass out from playing like normal vanilla. So I don't.
Yeah, we were.
Well,
no one liked playing with us because
that was a rare incident that day.
We're very competitive.
Very.
Yeah, and it shows.
Well,
it shows whenever we're competitive, we kind of wear our emotions on our sleeves. So I think
we get very frustrated.
Yeah, very frustrated, especially if we know that there's some fuckeries going around. What?
I don't think Jay really understood that we're so competitive.
No, he understood. He was just as competitive, so it made him frustrated.
He didn't like
because
losing,
we
so
tried
he just
as hard
made
as
up
we could.
bullshit. Yeah. At least we're playing fair. At least
Plus, you're the adult in the group. It's like act like one.
Adult. Fucking child. That's what he is.
As far as his job as being a kids pastor, he did fine. But as far as intervening in the youth group, no, not so much. You shouldn't intervene in the youth group if you're a kids pastor. That's my point of view. Even if your child is in the youth group.
This isn't very Christian of me, but
well, we're talking about
he's not really a man.
Christ. What?
He's not really a man. You can't in my opinion, you can't call someone a man that is still a child and still lives like a child and treats everyone like a fucking child. That is not a man to me. I will never call you a man. I will never address you as a man. I will call you, hey child, hey whatever, hey kid, whatever, because you do not deserve that name in my head. So I will let you know that you do not deserve that title. I don't play those fucking games.
Yeah,
very brutal.
As you can tell.
Sorry, I'm getting frustrated.
Our view of the church is not negative. It's the people of the church that is mostly negative.
All fucking fake. And that's another reason why I don't go to church.
I try to see it through the lens of people who are trying to better themselves, but don't necessarily do it in the best way. And of course, if you try to claim that you're trying to at least believe that Christ died and you're trying to live a sinless life, of course you're going to be viewed as a hypocrite because at least you're trying. Whereas with an atheist, it's like, well, you have no religious doctrine that you're not following, therefore you're not a hypocrite. At least you're trying to better yourself in some way in the church.
I understand where you're coming from. Yeah. But don't act perfect.
Oh, God.
And then tell me what to fucking do. Yeah. But then once you leave those doors, once you leave this building, you're a fucking different person and you do everything you tell me not to do. Don't be like that. Come as your fucking self and just be honest and real here. Like, come on, man. The church isn't isn't a museum for good people. It's a hospital for the broken. That's how I see it. They're like they preach come as yourself, but if someone comes in and starts cussing, they're like, whoa, okay, where's the holy water?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like fucking A, man. Like
you need
chill.
to confess your sins to.
Yeah, man. And honestly, like who really gives a fuck on cussing? To be honest, it's all in how you use it.
Yeah,
and that could be used with any fucking word too. That could
Which
be used with any word. Any word can be a bad word. It's all in the way and like the. Oh my
and
God.
I think a lot of
fucking
it
have a
again,
word here.
I know what you're trying to say.
As far as
The intent behind the word.
I would say that corruption in the church has a lot to do with people's inability to be humble.
But
Humility is a very rare trait, even in the church.
Yeah.
People aren't humble about the position. They're not like, how infinitely small I am and how much I get it wrong. If I believe that is true, which I do, but God loves me anyway, then I can't tell my neighbor, hey, you're fucking up. It's like, no, because I immediately know I'm the one that's fucking up. I don't need to worry about him. I need to worry about my damn self.
Right.
And because of people's lack of humility, I say people, because again, the church is supposed to be a community of people who come together believing in one fundamental idea, and that we're all broken and that we need Christ. That's the fundamental idea. And the second that you go beyond that, it is no longer a community or of Christ followers. You're just, I guess, a religious sect that's probably, I don't know what's the best word.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I cannot, and no one probably can perfect. And I know they're out there, rare, but they're out there.
Also, like another little mention onto the whole cussing thing. Like when someone says, "Oh darn," it's like just say,
So just damn it, yeah,
just say it, or like,
It
"Oh
means the
freak."
same thing.
It does.
Yeah.
It means the exact
as far as I can
freaking
tell,
fucking thing. Same fucking word. You're just saying it in a nice way.
Fudging.
yeah, to basically everyone
There's no
listening,
difference.
I've read the Bible in and out. I've memorized a large portion of it. There's no portion that I can think of. I'm not going to blaspheme myself. There's no portion that I've read that I can think of that would allude to the idea that you can't use certain taboo words. It's not illegal or in any way unrighteous for a person to use words that are considered by the culture as being taboo, such as fuck, cunt, bitch, shit, that kind of stuff. The only context, I think, in which you can't use any word is to try to demean somebody or their character. That's where if I can say, fuck, that's fine, but if I say, you fucking bitch, that is crossing the line.
Malicious attempt behind it. I mean,
it doesn't matter what words I use. I mean, like, you could
fucking sue me.
You tenacious snatch of a woman. Like, it's the same thing. I can use different words, but it's still the same.
I also never get on anyone for cussing or using cuss words in a violent way either, because I know I do it, so I have no fucking right to say, hey, you should probably stop doing that.
As
you know, like,
as
don't
not
do that.
someone who's coming from a point of never doing it, as a point of just saying you will.
I know it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I know I need to work on it, and I know I need to get better. But I'm not gonna be like, hey man, chill, or like, hey,
Daddy, chill.
Like, exactly. Exactly in those words.
Yeah.
Daddy, chill.
Daddy, chill.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Are those your muscles? Ooh.
Squishy.
Yeah.
No, solid.
I'm joking. I'm gonna fucking beat you up.
Do it.
No.
I'd like it.
Harder, Daddy.
Oh please. Okay. But yeah, no, I just don't see the point in that.
I see. Again, the point of church for me
No,
is.
I'm saying like cussing, like
Oh,
in the church. Like,
yeah.
I really don't. I it's at least I have the balls to say it, to be honest.
Well, as far as I can tell, there's been multiple studies, whether or not they've been replicated everywhere. There's been several studies to suggest that when you cuss, it actually releases, I don't remember if it's endorphins or dopamine, which basically is why anytime that you stub your toe or have a painful incident, if you say, fuck, it feels better because immediately your brain knows for some reason it releases dopamine. I'm not sure why, but it's considered taboo. think my mic just cut out. Maybe because it's considered taboo, and your brain gets excited because you get excited about any time that you use a word that you're not supposed to, which I think is probably true. I think psychologically and evolutionarily it's true, because you're risking, by saying that word in your own head, you're risking getting hurt. So in that way, it's like going to the edge of a building and leaning over it. It's like you get that rush of adrenaline, and I think that's probably why. But who knows?
I wanna comment on this. People are the ones who make words bad. Exactly. Yes. I
didn't even know we got a comment.
I 100% agree with you, girlfriend Beggins.
Yeah.
Um,
The best epiphany I ever had was just because you're an adult in age doesn't mean you're mature, especially if you're older than 50 plus. Yeah. And I think, unfortunately, that also has to do, like, biologically speaking. The second that you're 50 or older, you're set pretty much in your personality, and you will not change from that point on. That's why older people typically are the most immovable people, most stubborn people. And my wife, working in a, I always keep trying to call it old folks home, but it's like a
retirement.
Yeah, like a retirement home.
Retirement home.
She basically worked in one of those, and God forbid you miss one thing, or if you're in just a little bit late, they go spastic because they're so set on a routine that anything that goes away from that routine, because they're so static, it's like death for them. It's like, you better make sure next time.
Yeah.
That's one of the nice things about being youthful, is you get to at least not change who you are, but work on yourself. But the second you get to that age, there's no changing you.
Yeah.
There's maybe a miracle, I would say, if you can.
Yeah.
By that age.
I mean,
because guys don't fully develop until 25 anyway.
I don't think we ever fully develop.
we don't. But you know what? Like, here's the thing.
Not until you're dead. Now, you biologically fully develop at 25. From that point on, you don't replicate more cells than you slough off. So from that point on, you lose cells throughout your entire life. But because you have so many, it doesn't go that fast.
And we're getting close.
Getting close.
Our age
Only have one
Oh.
more year, baby.
Yeah.
One more year to death!
Are you going to do it with the rental car? Because now you're 25?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing I
Yeah.
cannot do.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I could rent a car now. It just, my wallet
worse
and
is-
my my bank account won't like me.
Just do a credit card or even a check, let it bounce, you know?
Professional advice over here. So, do exactly what he said.
Don't take me at my word. I didn't say anything. If
No
it
balls.
happens, it's not my fault.
No fucking
YouTube, look
balls.
at me. Look
Do
at
it.
me. I didn't
No
say
fucking
anything.
balls.
I didn't say
No
shit.
fucking balls.
I didn't say shit.
No balls.
I have balls.
I have one ball.
Unlike you, yeah. Exactly. You're one nut wonder. Also the one pump champ.
One pump champ.
That means you're in once, done, and out.
Yeah, I got shit
Efficient.
to do, bro.
Yeah,
I got shit to do, man. Like, I can't spend all day up in there.
Anyway, back to church
Yeah.
after talking about one pump champs. I guess you one pump champ the church, I guess, kind of. Not really, because you're there for so long, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you guys think
Wow.
there's a society issue on why people aren't talking with each other anymore through the church?
oh well, no, just in society at large, is because people aren't going to church.
Yeah.
The reason that we have right and left, and the reason that people won't bridge the divide, is because there's a lack of something in the middle, and that's called God, baby. I'm being totally serious too.
Yeah.
You think if someone, like, let's say a proverbial leftist or a socialist, let's say you have a fundamental idea that both of you believe in God, right? So you're not going to be like, I'm going to fucking kill you because I hate your ideas, or I think that you're whatever, you name it. And then the person on the left is like, well, you're racist and bigot, and you think that the words will ever go to violence? No, because you both have the fundamental idea that under God you're nothing, and the country was supposed to be under God, but unfortunately over time, as time progressed, I think our generation, specifically because of the internet, was removed from the idea and the importance of church and God,
Right.
or at least faith in some way.
I mean-
to believe that that person next to you, even if they don't believe what you believe, they're still your brother. They're still your
Exactly.
sister.
Like
It's like,
that.
don't fight each other because you have different opinions.
See-
It's like, God forbid you're in an actual family
Once
that has
someone-
different opinions.
Once someone starts to, like, I love and I treat everyone equally, but once they start
Yeah,
to
shitty.
try
I'm
to once you start to push your beliefs and make me try to believe what you believe, stop.
Yeah.
Because then that's when we're gonna have a problem.
Well, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it won't.
When have you ever changed your mind when someone said,
Exactly.
change your mind or else? It's like,
it's
well,
like, oh, bye.
fuck you. I think
You
I'm
know,
actually
he's
going to
like
go
this-
deeper into my ideas because
Yeah,
I think you're
yeah.
wrong.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: like when people get
You got to
so
be welcoming
angry,
into your ideas.
yeah, that's the whole thing too.
Like, hey, man, this is what I believe. Maybe you don't
That's-
believe it, but this is what I believe and why.
Every
And then you're
time
like,
I've
oh, yeah, that
always,
makes sense.
That's why I have such a wide spectrum of, I guess, friends like that are all over the place. Yeah, and I already know
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that joke that's
Yep.
in your head.
Yep.
Is because it's just like, man, like I don't care what you believe. Don't care what you believe, like what I
Yeah.
believe. Don't make that the focal point in if we're gonna be friends or not.
Yeah.
Like that's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not going to push my faith on anybody
no.
else. I'm just
Also-
being like, hey, this is what happened to me.
Well,
this is like, it
with
was like a
anything.
good thing for me.
Yeah.
If you want to adventure, then go for it. But I'm not going to be like, you better join the church, otherwise
No.
you're going to hell.
No, I'm
So stupid. I don't like that idea.
no, I yeah.
The or else.
That's-
Anytime someone says or else, it's like, just don't even listen to them. Because if they have to go to the point where they have to say or else, that means they couldn't articulate their position well enough.
So one of my ex-girlfriends a long time ago, right? She was like, okay, she said this one time in an argument, it's either me or your bike. And I said, are
Bike.
you willing to lose this? Are you willing to lose this because you said that comment? That's what I told her. Because I told her a long time ago before this argument, I was like, if you ever make me choose between you and my bike, I will choose my bike every time, because my bike is something that you can't do. Like, it is something, unfortunately, that no one can do. It's just something that I love to do. It gets me out, and it's very freeing. It's very stress relieving and all these things. I love it too much. It's a hobby. And why would you want to stop me from doing something that I love to do?
Yeah, you should never have to make an ultimatum in a
Controlling
relationship.
fucking bitch. Like,
That means she had an inability to communicate with you what you wanted.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, "Hey, I really don't like the idea that you go on a bike. I really fear for your life every single time. Is there any way you could reduce the amount of times that you do that?"
Right.
Then if you communicate it that way, then you have the option to say yes or no, but at least she still voiced her concern. Whereas now it's
Okay.
you either do it or you don't have me. Like, okay,
yeah.
that obviously speaks to her insecurities as well, because now she thinks, well, you care more about this than me, so I'm going to make sure to
No.
figure out if whether or not
See-
that's the truth.
Here's the thing.
I think that comes from
I always
insecurity.
said, I was like, hey, I'm going to go out on my bike, but you're more than welcome to follow me. You're more than welcome to come with me. I always gave her the option. I never just said, no, I'm going on a bike ride. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
There, you could follow me in a car. I understand that that's gas and whatnot. You can come with me. Oh, you're scared? Okay. That's okay. That's you. I'm not judging you for you, but like, once you say that I can't do something, yeah.
Sorry, I read the comment.
I saw that a long time ago.
I don't look over there very often, but when I do,
Well, I look at you and then I'll see something and I'm like,
is that your friend or is that? Oh, I was wondering. I was like, there's no way we have someone that dedicated that would actually comment on our shitty commentary, I guess.
yeah. But no, I don't like that.
Again, anytime
Yeah.
it's a red flag. You should not, in a relationship, ever get to the point where you're making ultimatums, because that means that you didn't communicate well enough before it even got to that point. Because now you're at a crisis point, and because of your insecurities, you want to see where where they're at.
You know what's funny? Like one of them, like really just caked on makeup.
That's not okay. Anyone out there who puts on makeup,
Okay.
girls, anyone who puts on
I'm
makeup
not
is
saying
girls.
that makeup is bad. Whatever.
Do
It's cool,
not
actually.
use too much. I say
Yeah.
for me, for a guy, you don't need foundation. You don't need lipstick. All you need is to work on the eyes, mascara, and also
Not even-
fucking
not even that.
eyeliner.
Not even
for
that,
me
man.
anyway. And then that's it. That's all I need.
I like non-makeup a lot more than I like makeup.
No, don't get me wrong. I like natural. I'm just saying if you're gonna do makeup,
If you're
just
gonna
do
makeup,
eyes.
just do the eyes.
Yeah. No guy's like, oh my god, I can tell that she has really caked on makeup. That makes me more attracted to her. It's like, come on, you have to be. Guys seek out confidence, and if you cake on makeup, that tells them that you have insecurities. And most guys like someone to be a little bit more confident than that, I think.
I'm gonna comment real quick on this comment.
Yeah, because I thought about that too.
What?
Like she cared about you even though she.
Oh
No,
Oh, she did.
Oh, no. no,
Right.
that is not the case right there.
Okay.
I wish it was. Back then, it was not.
again, like I said, I think it really has to go to her insecurities.
There was.
I mean, I'm not going to assume her intentions because I don't know. I might know who she is, but I don't remember who she was.
Satan's cousin is probably the
Okay.
best way I can describe her.
So,
Somewhere in Satan's family tree.
from what I remember, it's coming from a very controlling and I think, again,
Oh,
insecure position.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Controlling understatement. I don't know if there's a bigger word for controlling.
And I think there's also probably a bit of fear of losing you as well. That's in everyone's
Well, that's-
back of the mind. But
I understand that.
That fear alone shouldn't bring you to
But-
the point of creating
But
that.
we were in a relationship for 2 years.
Was this her first one ever? Do you know?
First relationship?
Relationship with a
No.
guy with
Oh, wait,
with a
wait.
guy with a bike kind of
Say
thing.
that again?
Was that her first relationship like ever?
No,
With you?
no.
Okay.
I'm pretty no, because she dated. It was at the Y. Yeah.
No. But
I remember that.
anyways, she was, I don't know exactly what happened, but her personality about a year, it was almost exactly a year, switched completely 180.
Good or
Like
bad?
Bad.
obviously bad.
Bad.
Obviously.
I noticed it too because whenever we
It
played
was
bowling at the very beginning, it was
was
completely
good.
different
Yeah.
than
No, things were great. Like
Yeah.
obviously like
maybe there's something significant in her life between then because that's typically how people
but
change
here's
for the
thing,
most part is some kind of crisis
she
point.
complained about everything to me, so there wasn't anything I did not
That might
know.
be projection too.
But I tried my best to help with the situation, but she wouldn't let me ever, like, help.
Yeah.
She wouldn't. She would never take my advice, and it was good advice. It was reasonable, logical.
I mean, that kind of also
Boom.
what we said last week is it's comfortable
But
to not
this-
fix yourself
this
because
is
you get to
also
the
what she
discomfort of.
This is also what she told me, and this is how bad. This is skimming the surface of how bad this relationship was. She goes, This was one time when I was trying to help her with a problem, or not help her, but I was just giving my thoughts on it. She goes, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take information from someone that is much unintelligent as I am. And I was like,
And we're done.
Okay, I can tell you immediately already. That is
Well,
an
I mean,
emotional argument.
I understand that I'm not all here. Never have been. But I'm not stupid. I mean,
It's probably not a good idea to call your boyfriend, husband, or otherwise unintelligent. That's a great idea,
here's the
ladies.
thing.
If you want a man to go crazy for you, make sure to poke and prod his intelligence because that'll get you far. It's
it'll
like-
get you on a hit list really quickly.
not you on a hit list. Well, I mean on his hit list, but and then
my
he'll
hit
get on another list.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can get on a list from just saying hi to a woman nowadays. So, I mean,
At first, yeah, until you eventually get acquitted of all charges 5 years in after getting your ass raped 50 times from Big Earl. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And the government, I mean, because they take everything.
well, and that was
it's-
whenever I was in
it's
college, that
fine.
was my big fear that some random girl is going to just say that I did something,
You know,
and because
and
of
that's what's
the
terrible nowadays.
Yeah,
Because you can't even. I'm scared sometimes. Not scared, but I'm I understand what could happen. Just to stop by and help someone on the side of the road.
You know what I did to ensure that I would probably be fine? I would just act like maybe he's gay. If everyone thought, well, he might be gay.
I'm not
no,
talking about that.
for me in college.
Oh.
So I acted a little bit different.
That brings
It worked.
I was with your brother Austin.
Yeah.
And we were at the mall. And I was
I think I was there.
And
I'm pretty sure I
in
was
a
there.
relationship with, I forgot which one it was.
It was a
at this
while
time.
ago, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a long time ago.
So it was either your first or
I
your
think-
second.
Yeah. And I've only really been in 2, but I
Were
mean,
you like 12 or
No, you were in
okay, I had things.
4. You
I
were in
had
4.
things,
No, you were in 4.
not actual dating.
M
Mm-hmm.
A
Mm-hmm.
H.
H.
Actually, isn't there 2 H's?
No.
Yeah, one was a
H.
twin. One was a twin
When was it?
at the very beginning. One was a twin.
Who are you fucking?
You're
long time?
That was not. We
Okay,
weren't dating.
but it was still your first.
That is not true.
I mean, it's not your first it's your first relationship.
That's not true.
That is true.
She was not my first relationship.
Was it a guy?
It was Austin.
Oh,
Big shocker there. No.
especially
but-
now that he's married.
Y'all touch tips.
It was before I was married. I swear. I'm not doing it anymore.
But no, we were at the mall and this girl comes up to ask me for my number. And I didn't have the heart to tell this girl no or anything because I didn't even think of that. I'm sorry, I have a girlfriend. I didn't even think of that. My brain went to be like, I'm going to make this so fucking awkward for her. So I literally grabbed Austin and I was like, I don't know. I'd have to ask my boyfriend. And I grabbed his ass. I was like, how do you feel about this girl getting my number, hun? And he goes, I don't like it.
I like how he
He played along.
totally
And I was
did.
like,
hell yeah.
yep, this is beautiful.
I mean, at least she didn't feel awkward then. She would just been like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel like you've been rejected in any way, or at least
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, oh, he's gay. It's like, obviously
Yeah.
he's not attracted to me. Oh, that's fine. It's not because
Exactly.
of me. It's more
It's-
like, yeah.
yeah, like, but I found it funny in my own sense of humor
Okay.
of,
I have a story along that line. So I, as well as my brother and my wife, deliver for Domino's, which is actually a pretty, as far as pay goes, it's a really good job. But
Here.
yeah,
Yeah.
at least in the state of Washington, it's pretty good. But one night I was delivering, and this was obviously a party. They had quite a few pizzas ordered, and I was like, okay, fine. I'll go up to the house and notice there's a lot of ruckus going on, and the girl answers the door, and I'm like, all right, here's your order, and she takes it, and I just kind of stand there for a little bit because I think there was something else I had to grab and give it to her, and then she shuts the door. From what I remember, I hear a lot of giggling, like girls giggling. And then I take 2 steps toward my car and I hear this loud crash. I was about to die laughing, but that's not the end of the story. I get to my car. I'm sitting there. I think I was writing how much I got as far as tips are concerned. And I hear a knock on my window. And I look to my left and it's the girl that answered the door. So I roll down my window. I guess one thing I left out is I could obviously smell weed when they opened the door. I rolled down my window and she's like, "Can I have your Snapchat?" I was so cruel. I was so mean. I was like, "No." That's all I said, and I rolled up the window and I left. I didn't say I was taken, I was married, no, you're too young. None of it. Just said no. I don't. Actually, I said no, I don't. No. What was it? It's like no. It was worse. It was worse than just no. It's like no, I don't want to. It was like really bad. I mean, she was like 16. And she was hitting on someone who was in their mid-20s. I'm like, I'm going to make this very obvious to you. Hell no. It's like not even close. Because you're asking me for my Snapchat. I immediately know what you're asking. Because that's worse than number. Snapchat. If someone asks for your Snapchat versus your number, I'm pretty sure that's worse.
It's not worth. It's not. In my own opinion, because a lot of people use Snapchat.
A lot of
more
people use it to be
nowadays.
whores too.
But that's not my okay.
From my interpretation, that's what she would have done to me.
From me, that is not my thought at all, because I'm
That's
not
my
really.
first
I don't
thought.
ever like actually text on
Especially because
Messenger.
I'm just a delivery driver, and I could tell immediately at the very beginning maybe she found me attractive, but I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
I'm just
cringe.
gonna play it
That's-
off.
yeah, that's- yeah.
But oh my god, and I
Why
went.
are you looking at me like that, Justin?
I'm not looking at you.
Wow.
What are you doing?
Damn.
It's just the phone's doing something weird. Ignore me.
Okay. I get back to the store and I tell my
really
manager
hot.
about the story, and my manager's like, "Oh, that poor girl." I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
That poor girl.
She's 16.
She's high.
Like-
She's underage. She's asking a married man for his Snapchat, which I
she
can
doesn't
only
know
assume.
that though.
I mean, true, but I had full-on beard. I looked
Yeah.
older
Okay,
than
but-
her. Obviously
Okay,
older than her.
But you had a beard when you were like 15, bro.
14 is when I started growing my beard.
Sorry.
It's also when I got my wisdom teeth removed.
14.
Yeah, I was a bit of a. I don't know.
See,
Slap any label you want to on it.
you grow it in the face. I grow it on the head.
You hit puberty at 8.
No, I think what happened is the stress of, I don't know, a whole bunch of shit just got to me. I don't know why. I'm 22 and I have the hairline of a 43-year-old man.
That's beautiful.
What's beautiful? My
Your
hairline?
receding hairline.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
My, as you called it, McDonald's logo. Thank you.
That was still one of.
I went bald. Shaved my head
Yeah.
the first day of January.
I
So I'm trying to see what it's like full year, how long it'll be after a year.
So you're growing it for a full year without cutting it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
We're only like 3 months in, and I'm only at like half an inch. So I mean, you
Your
kind
hair
of.
grows really like slow.
My hair grows slow, but my beard grows really fast. Not only that, my nails grow slow and they grow thin. I think I just have like a digestive issue,
It's funny,
probably
'cause, like-
because I'm not eating right.
Within a year, I think my hair's grown like 2-3 inches.
Then mine hair's growing faster than you because
No. My hair sprouted like a weed the first year. It got to almost this length in a year. Like it was just an inch or two shorter, and then all of a sudden, like this last year was just like,
You never trimmed it or anything? Oh.
no, because I mean I trimmed it one time when I was first growing it out. I trimmed it one time because it was really bad, like split ends.
Was this before or after your accident? Because that could also play a role.
I started growing it once it was like what, like
Because you
a
had that hair for
month?
the wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was shorter.
a little bit.
It was quite a bit shorter for the wedding.
That was after
was-
the accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
after the accident.
I was wondering because testosterone also plays a role in hair growth. So does estrogen, I think. So
I have a lot of estrogen.
I have a lot of testosterone.
A lot of estrogen.
That explains the zits on my face, the boobs I've been growing, and also the hair receding hairline. That's not how hormones work, but I like where your mind's going.
Good.
Yeah.
If we believe hard enough, we can make it work.
So
Just
long
use
as you're the bottom.
imagination, man. Nah.
Wait, I'm breeding you, so obviously you're the bottom. How am I supposed to put a baby in you if I can't even put it in you? You
See,
know?
what's gonna happen is you're gonna take my butt egg and it's gonna go into your pee pee, right?
No.
And then it's gonna
Hell
sit-
no. Hell no. You think,
gonna
passing
sit in
a
your
stone's
bladder.
my worst
Nope,
fear?
nope,
Let me give
nope.
you.
It's
fuck
gonna
you.
sit in your bladder and then it's gonna grow like a plant.
And
right?
then I'll pass
All
it out of my penile. I like saying penile.
penile.
Even though it's the urethra. I don't want to. No.
And then
Nope. Boop. Nope.
baby.
I would
Baby
rather do it
born.
the fish way where you poop it out and then I just onto it and then ta-da,
Fertilize
it's
it.
fertilized, yeah. Eggs,
I mean, we could do it a few different
fish have it
ways.
easy.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't get to understand what the pleasure is like to, but neither do a lot of animals because they only do it for biological purposes. I think the only
there's a few.
pigs, us, and dolphins. That's it. Did someone comment about
Yeah, about the butt
my
egg.
butt egg? Yeah. Nice.
We also have a new viewer.
That is also one of my
Yeah.
other buddies.
Oh,
That's her boyfriend. I was about to say girlfriend.
Okay. I guess that makes
Welcome.
You can
sense.
say that too. I'm sure they don't
Archer
care.
War.
Have I met them?
No. No,
Hi.
they live in a different state.
Oh, okay. Which state?
Your Xbox buddies, right?
Xbox?
No.
How dare you say Xbox?
I know you have buddies on Xbox.
Wait, why don't you
PlayStation.
like? Why don't you like Xbox? Is it because of Bill Gates?
I
Yeah.
forgot. You
Okay, I was wondering.
you
But,
use
I mean,
Xbox.
Because we grew up on Xbox, and then you switched to PlayStation.
Betrayed us.
I don't know.
It's not really a
I mean,
portrayal.
considering that, I don't know how much Bill Gates actually still owns as far as Microsoft's
I
concerned.
really
so-
don't give a fuck. Just an evil man in general.
Yeah,
Very, very evil.
in a very small body. Very.
A lot of tough talk for a guy with a small cock, you know.
He doesn't really have tough talk though. He kind of just talks like this all the time. It's like super soft all the
I
time.
love saying that like phrase to anyone
Which one?
that's like talking tough. I'm like,
Yeah.
tough talk coming from a guy with a small cock.
Son, I have no cock. Thank you for reminding me.
So this will work.
Just because I have the absence of a cock doesn't mean that you can fuck me. I didn't get sex change surgery. It's just flat. What if I just have
I'll
a
make
little,
an entry.
What if I have just a little urethra hole right on
I
my
mean,
skin?
I can make 2 entries.
Ow and no.
Call me the drill.
The what?
I have the drill bit to your socket.
It's like a 3/16 drill. Just a little tiny,
Yeah, man.
little tiny,
Penetration. Yeah.
like a spaghetti noodle. Does it get soft when it's wet, or does it get hard when it's wet? Like a spaghetti noodle, or not like a spaghetti noodle? Oh, that reminds me. There's just stupid phrase that a lot of lesbians use whenever they're like, "Would you ever want to swing with me?" Like when they ask a girl, and they're like, "No, I'm straight." And then their common phrase is, "Well, spaghetti's straight until you get it wet." It's like, that is such a stupid line. This is such a yeah. Now you've gotten into her panties. It's like any guy that tries that line he's gonna get punched.
See, I'm gonna identify as a woman, and then I can say anything I fucking want.
That's true. Well, unless you don't agree with
Your words against yourself, bitch.
unless you don't agree with like politics generally, like with what most people
all I
agree
have
with.
to do is be like, if a cop comes up to me and they're like,
If God,
I mean, big man knows my intentions, but
he's like, I'm proud of you, my son. I mean, daughter, whatever. Doesn't matter.
I ain't gonna judge.
I made you to fuck.
this hat is hurting my head.
Dude, my face is getting really hot, and I don't know why.
You just want to show off your hair.
No, I was gonna put it up.
Yeah, we were talking about church. Now
We were. Now we've gotten into
yeah.
shenanigans. good shenanigans.
I guess. I mean, we kind of touched upon most of.
church.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some things that are left out. Also,
Church
I'll have
has
to
its perks, but it
explain-
also has its downsides.
Yes. I'll also explain that relationship one day to the extent that it actually deserves.
Which really the
The absolutely horrible one with A.
with. Oh, I thought you were talking about. I thought you were
Not
talking
the
about somebody
latest.
Oh.
Remember, because me and M dated twice.
He's talking about Mark.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Mom?
You said
Mark.
me and M, and I was like, yeah, he's talking about Mark.
Who is this
You are a woman now.
Yeah, Mark identifies as a woman, but definitely isn't. No, I'm kidding. I know who you're talking about. You just said M, so I finished it for you.
Oh.
Basically saying that you're gay.
I got so confused.
It was all a joke.
Yep. Oh, it is Sunday, so I guess that was appropriate to talk about church. It's Sunday today. Well,
Oh shit!
yeah,
It is.
Yeah, it's technically Sunday.
How about
Nice.
that?
We're almost an hour in, so now we can switch gears. Switch gears to the
Scared me.
depressing topic.
Depression. I'm gonna stick my dick in a bag of Doritos because depression.
Did you finally figure it out?
I'm gonna stick my balls in some iron. Thousand Island dressing because I got depression.
Okay.
That's the.
You still won't feel anything, so go for it.
Just like everything else in my life.
Yep. You kind of depression makes you lose all feeling.
I'm in good
Bro, you almost made me.
Bust. Like with that gumball.
You almost made me squirt, bro.
With that gumball, you know?
Yeah.
Did I make you
With
choke?
that ball.
Did I make you choke?
That huge ball in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was massive.
Yeah, the giant purple ball in
You
your
know?
mouth. Yeah. Yeah. Made you gag and then you choked on it.
It was a good
You
time.
almost died too. Probably tears coming out of your eyes, mascara running down. Thank you. Thank you. At least someone appreciates my work.
Anyways, depression.
Take it from the top, baby.
Oh, man. Where do I fucking begin? Day 1, I hated life.
I was born
Current day, I
on
hate life.
February. The day I started hating life.
I mean, I didn't start feeling, even though like my life was shit for a long time, I didn't start feeling like depression until like 18.
Did it do the same thing as it did with me? You just didn't see it?
I just didn't see
first?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just didn't really know what depression was because I just kind of never cared to know exactly what it was.
Because it kind of comes in slowly, really.
Yeah, it does. It kind of creeps up on
Until eventually you turn around and there's this big looming fucking dark cloud behind you. You're like, what the fuck
That's
is
called
that?
my dick.
Big looming dark cloud? That's your dad. No! Dad! Do they know?
My dad died. Yes.
Oh, they know now.
They know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know.
We'll see. We'll see in about 8 seconds. They'll leave a
will.
comment like,
We will.
I did not know, and that's a bit awkward.
He is dead.
He is
Deader than Christ.
deceased. Wait, deader than Christ?
Deader.
I mean-
more
I mean, he
dead than-
didn't resurrect himself on the third day, so I guess you're
more
right.
dead than my feelings.
I think
Yeah,
your
it's
feelings are
pretty
deader.
even. Yeah. Deader. More dead.
And whatever.
English.
It's 3 a.m. Do I care about how grammatically correct I am? Hell no.
Never stop.
Playing with
Keep
these
score.
tacks. No, now there's tacks on the ground. What if I step on it?
Good.
Are you going to talk about depression or what?
Okay. I'll just kind of go with my life in a sense, like my life story. Like you heard, like, you know, going to church and whatnot. Like I gave my
Virginity to the priest.
exactly. He took that at a young age, and then all of a sudden, like, he grew on me. You know, literally.
He grew in you.
He grew on me and in me. Many ways.
By the way, neither of us are Catholic, so that's not a joke
Yes.
for us. It's a
No.
joke for everyone else.
Yeah, take it and run with it. No, it's
Like the priest.
just like that child.
Uh-huh.
There it was. There he goes. Have you seen that fucking meme with Joe Biden? And it's like,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
children. And he looks it up on like eBay or something. And it says children, and then it like
Yeah.
for sale, and then you see like this man like in a shopping cart like running.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the meme where him and Jill are up on stage or
You
in
mean
front
the
of
ice cream
people.
truck?
Yeah, the ice cream truck where he's like,
Yeah.
he's just walking off like some old
like-
guy that has shit in his pants. He's like, ice cream. Yeah. I may be the president
can
of
show
the
you
United
some
States,
Irish
but I don't
cream.
remember shit. Oh, Irish. He probably wouldn't even remember. He'd probably welcome it. He'd come up from behind thinking that because of your hair that you're a woman. He'd,
Plot twist. I have a dick on both ends.
so you have a double-ended dildo in your ass? That's kind of fucking gay. So do I. Wow! On a sword fight, like Darth Maul, just double-ended lightsaber. Let's go.
Okay. serious talk here.
Yeah, back on the set of depression. As you can tell, our mode of feeling better about ourselves is joking about shit.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, like, I got, growing up homeschooled, I came to like an age, it was around 7 years old. And I got, I have dyslexia, so I've always struggled with that. I never really knew what dyslexia was.
Glycexia?
Dyslexia.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Keep going.
He's fucking with you.
I'm fucking with you.
I forgot my train of thought.
7. You said something about the age of 7.
Are you sharing the same one as the question? What does that mean? Am I having a stroke?
Oh, we were talking about the double-ended dildo.
Oh. No, they're independent of one another. That's why I made the Darth Maul joke. Not sure if you made the comment before or after that joke, but
It's fine. Yeah. Anyways, I forgot where I was going.
You said you were 7.
7 years old. Yeah. Oh yeah. I was in class and having dyslexia. I tried to get out of reading wherever I could and just try to avoid that at every. I still try to avoid trying to read in front of people, but at least I only really read in front of people that I know. Cock.
yeah. You distract really easily.
I do. Yeah.
You're not making it easy on it either.
No, you're not.
So you may have
Fucking
ADHD. I'm just trying to diagnose you, I guess.
This is a therapy session right now.
No!
What was that?
Not my ring. Fuck your money. Or sorry, your lack of money.
There you go.
What money?
All right, so
Okay.
dyslexia,
Dyslexia, and my.
which is a learning disability.
Yeah, I can't. I have a harder time reading and doing like math and all that fun stuff. So it correlates with both.
Even when it was just numbers.
Yeah, because it just like if you're doing math, like they'll switch on me. Like the same thing with reading. Like it'll just kind of like the 6 will become a 9 or a 9 will become a 6, and then
You have 69.
exactly perfect numbers.
But when you're 7, you didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
So.
But
Hopefully.
no, like it'll and then
Yeah, hopefully.
well they don't always just switch. They'll also like turn sideways too.
So that means you have a problem with your occipital lobe, or at least your visual cortex. So you see things right, but your brain fucks it up.
sure.
Sorry, I was explaining in a very complicated way, but
But anyways, so my teacher was like, I'm gonna have someone read in front of the classroom, and I was like, oh shit.
Austin, would you like to read in front of the class?
That's basically that's what happened, and it was like,
Every time.
a small paragraph.
I feel like they can like sniff your fear.
Uh-huh.
I swear to God, teachers just like you're like I don't know what the answer is, and they're like you're just like don't talk to me.
Yeah.
It's either they're looking at your eyes or they just Brandon
Fear.
answer.
Oh shit.
Where am I? What's going on? Just to play the.
Yeah. Anyways, I was like, do I have to? And she's like, yes. So anyways, like I walk up like kind of unwillingly. I was like very like, about it. I mean, you guys have heard this story, but and then I finally get up there and I'm kind of like, I'm looking at this page and everything's just like, just moving all throughout the page. And I'm just like, and I kind of just like stand there. I'm just like really trying. I'm like,
Was this before or after you were diagnosed?
this was after.
I'm surprised you didn't know. No one told the teacher that you were.
No, because
You
that wasn't.
didn't tell
that
the teacher
wasn't-
either.
Uh-uh.
You'd make it awkward. You'd be
I was-
like,
I was
I will
sorry.
read in front of the class, but I read slow because I'm dyslexic. And then be like, okay, next
I
child.
couldn't- no, I couldn't.
not
I couldn't
taking
read.
that as
I couldn't read.
True,
at all.
you don't have complex thoughts when you're a kid, or at least not that
I
complex.
also couldn't read at all at that time. Like there was, I don't think one word that I could read because it was.
Yeah,
was
but you could still
super
say
bad.
words.
I could say words, but I couldn't read it. If it was on a page, I could not read what is on that.
I couldn't
on the
read until I was
page.
6, but that was because I was stupid, not because of dyslexia.
That's fair.
That's funny comments.
But
You're not helping. His ADHD just spiked again.
yeah, it did.
So
Um,
then the
so-
teacher kind of acted
oh yeah,
like a
so
complete bitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was I like sat there and she was like, "Well, are you gonna read?" And I was like, I can't really read." And she goes, "Oh, like why? You know, I'm just,
Are you a retard?
basically,
Yeah.
I mean that's what she
Wait,
said.
was this? No, you're homeschooled. Never mind. I'm not gonna ask that question. Because it was at one of the
co-op?
co-op.
Yeah.
I always forget what the name
Yeah,
is.
it's a school for homeschoolers that meet once a week, and we do everything like a normal school. Like we have classes; they're all an hour long, and it's, you know, we have teachers, we have everything. It's
Class is an hour long. Everyone who went to high school only an hour. Hell, I went to university and it was like 2.5 hours long. Sometime,
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, it's high
why?
school.
You've lost my attention by hour 1.
no, you're fine.
You just did it again. Come on.
No, but anyway, she was like, I told her I had dyslexia, and you know, she goes, you know, she didn't really say anything, and then one of the kids like raised their hand, and they were like, "What does dyslexia mean?" She goes, "Oh, that basically means that you're stupid." And I mean, you know that.
Yeah, I
That's a good
remember
story,
that.
but, I mean,
But hearing
that's-
it again, man.
yeah, I mean, I'm also not in the most serious like way of explaining it because I've explained it so many times
Yeah.
by now that it's
Well,
kinda
and the
lost
psychological effect's not the same.
yeah, you know, when I was younger, it still had like that hold on me. Now I don't even give a fuck, because that's small potatoes. But
Have you seen I know, not to distract you again, but have you seen the meme where it's the guy like, to the teacher who said I'd never amount to anything and probably work construction for the rest of my life, fuck you. There's a lucky guess. I love that shit.
yeah, but you know, there's nothing wrong with construction.
No,
though. There's
no.
nothing.
You
wrong
probably
with
make
that.
more money than that teacher ever did.
Yeah,
So
you do.
work king. You got it. You're fine.
But anyways, so from then on, I got very heavily bullied. Got beaten up a lot. I mean, I had pink belly. For everyone that does not know what pink belly is, it's where you get beaten so much to where your ribs, your stomach, or whatever they've beaten up is all the colors of the rainbow, and it is very.
So everyone who went to high school ain't nothing compared to what homeschool kids
No.
be doing.
I mean, dude, there came to a point, you know, this happened for years, and eventually, you know, I started weightlifting, and
Yeah.
I started getting pretty big at one point, and I took one of those bullies' heads and I put it in a urinal.
I
grabbed-
never heard that story yet.
I haven't really. I've told a few people that, but I wasn't anything proud of it because I just reached to a point to where I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I just grabbed him by the hair and I brought him down to my level because I'm shorter, and you know, and I just walked to the bathroom. And when someone has your hair, I mean, like, you can't really do anything
Unless
you're
you
like-
don't care. And then
Okay, but when someone has like a clump and like gripping on,
Yeah.
that's painful, and you're not trying to have a fucking bald spot. you
yeah.
know? Anyways, and then I just
I mean, you can't really
kind
have
of
much.
walked him into the bathroom, and I just shoved his face down in the urinal, and I was like, "How do you like that, bitch?" And then just walked away.
Nice.
He did that to you too, didn't he?
Oh, he put my head in the toilet. I mean, they did a lot more worse things to me than do that. I mean, I did not. It was not a 13 Reasons Why episode.
What?
Just knows.
I don't get that reference.
13 Reasons Why. There's a scene in a bathroom where a broom gets shoved up a kid's ass.
I never watched that, so I
Anyways.
wouldn't know. Like Brokeback Mountain kind of shit. Obviously not broom, but you know, two gay cowboys.
No,
With
it
Heath
was.
Ledger.
It wasn't. It wasn't like in the show. Like, it was forceful. It was like bullies.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
up his ass, and then it's like that far, you know, or whatever, and it's like blood and whatever. It's a fucked up show, but it is actually kind of.
So that's what happened to you?
No, I was never.
No, I
rammed
took
in the
this
ass.
much. I ain't no bitch.
You know that guy from Enumclaw? Double that.
For those of you listening, not knowing the legendary story of
there's
Enumclaw,
Yeah.
is a man who tied himself to a post and got fucked by a male horse until
And
his
died.
colon ruptured and he died before he could
He's basically a legend in the gay community here.
at least a legend among the horses. Dude, I fucked this guy so hard he died. The horse is probably dead by now.
I mean, yeah.
I would kill myself after that experience. The fuck?
I mean, but anyways, so, after that, like, I was really touchy for a long time about my dyslexia, too. I wasn't,
Abnormal.
yeah, but, I mean, now it's, like, night and day because I don't get triggered or sensitive about, like, almost anything.
Yeah.
Like, you could say anything about my dad, and I would probably not even get a reaction out of me, to be honest. Like, I'll probably laugh with you because humor, yeah, I just find it funny, even though it is very tragic, but I will not show it in front of people. But it doesn't even, like, affect me, having that kind of sense of humor, like making dead dad
So
jokes.
is that where your depression started, was as a kid, or is that just made you more prone to...
It just made me more prone, I guess.
Because you kind of numb
I
yourself?
mean, I did try to commit suicide when I was young because of what happened to me with getting beaten up.
Weren't you
and
a
everything.
cutter for a little bit?
Yeah, I cut myself for a few years, but eventually I just had no point to it because I was just like, I don't feel it anymore, and there's no point, so might as well just stop. Like, that's my reasoning. Some people are like, no, deeper and deeper, and it's like once it just stopped feeling anything, I was like, okay,
just start going that way, and then it'll all be over.
Sideways for attention, long ways for results.
Yeah.
Big brain. Anyways,
Well,
I mean,
dead brain eventually, but
I've told you about, like, the killing myself, but, like, it didn't work. I've told you that. I've told you guys this.
I don't think so.
I took my dad's, like, old 22 and, like, held it up to my head, put a bullet in it, and, like, pulled the trigger, and it didn't fire.
I don't remember that story.
Yeah. And then ever since then, I just have never
Horrible
tried.
fucking ammo. Who sold you that piece of shit?
Huh?
How long ago did you tell us this, or do you think you told us?
Oh, it was probably like
When did you try?
it was probably like
Also
10, 11.
Okay, that makes sense.
Story-
It's 10 years
your
old.
story sounds familiar, but it sounds like something from forever.
It was a long time ago.
If you're gonna do it, which I'd never advocate for, don't use
Do
a
it
22.
right.
Don't use a 22.
Well, I mean,
12
it was
gauge
the
all the
only-
way, boy.
It was the only thing that
You got to
was-
leave psychological damage to your family members who find you. So you can't do
it was
22.
the only thing that was there.
I mean, it'll
that-
kill you. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong, but you're risking it not killing you, and you're
Yeah,
just
but
being a vegetable for
you're
your rest
10
of
or
your life.
11, I mean, you
True.
don't really know that. I mean, like, so I attempted it, and then I just kind of saw that as a sign of just like, I'm meant to be here. And then everything else that's
Just look up. Why?
honestly, like, there's so many things where I should have died and I'm still here, and I'm like, fucking why, bro?
Oh no,
like,
I've had that shit too.
I mean, but with everything recent or more recent in the past, like, it's been like 5 years now since my real bad start of depression started.
So that's what, 2017?
Yeah.
That was right after you graduated.
Yeah, it was.
I guess that makes sense.
I had my shoulder surgery. Took 2 years to finally get up and going again. Finally, everything, and going through abusive relationship. Being trapped at home.
Then you're
24/7.
finally free, riding on your bike, get in an accident.
I get into my first accident. Didn't really get damaged.
Oh,
except
yeah,
for
yeah,
my
yeah, I
finger,
remember that.
It
It wasn't long after that you got hit. Maybe you should have taken that
No,
as a
what
sign.
happened after that, I broke my leg. And then I was down and I had to have surgery for my leg. And
I
then
remember, 'cause
it
I
was
was like,
like,
man,
no, everything
breaking
was,
himself.
so there was the 2-year thing with my shoulder. And then it was a few months after I was free and clear to do whatever I want. I got into an accident. I was sore and beat up for a while. And then, nothing actually broke. I just have no feeling in this finger. It's no big deal. It's whatever. And then like after that, I broke my leg. Like a few months after that, broke my leg, had surgery. I was out for a while, and then was it like 4 months or 5 months after that, I had that really bad accident. I got hit head on collision.
Well,
Some lady
didn't she
decided-
pull out? And
She
you
pulled
hit the
out.
Side?
Well, I
of the
hit her
vehicle?
front. So, like, here's her car. It was around a corner, a sharp corner, and she was pulling out this way, and I was coming around the corner. So I hit her front end. Like, it was like here's the front end, here's the side of the car. Hit that corner.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it could be head on, or it could be,
Yeah.
I don't really know what to call that. I just call it head on because I basically hit her head on.
True.
Anyways, I was going about 50 miles an hour. She was like going like 2 or 3 miles an hour. And
Momentum's a bitch.
I took off, landed on my head and shoulder area.
Well,
Had a
before
seizure.
that, on
Well,
your bike,
before
you
that,
slammed into your gas
Slammed
tank
into
by
my gas
one
tank.
testicle.
You saw the gas
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah.
That
I
was
gave you a sheet of
impressive.
paper telling you just how much.
I still have that.
Yeah.
I still have that.
Which is still approximate because I don't
17
know.
It was 1,700 pounds of pressure at 50 miles an hour.
Yep. It was a lot.
So around 1,700 pounds of pressure.
I thought it was
went to my groin.
17,000, wasn't it?
It might have been. I don't.
Well,
I thought it was
pressure's not
17
pounds per square inch. I think it said force, so I was
It
giving
was,
you a
it was
force.
17 pounds per square inch. 1,700 pounds per square inch.
Okay, yeah, I would have to.
That's-
I think, I tried to take the area of what your nut was.
That's what it roughly went to. So that's how much actually.
And again, I could have been a little bit off because
Yeah,
a
but I
large
mean-
factor of that is the time it takes for a collision to take place. I looked it up. The average was like 0.1
And also, if
seconds.
you were to, you guys saw my tank. I mean, that's metal. My groin.
Isn't it aluminum though?
No, it's metal. The gas tank is metal.
I mean,
That's
aluminum
the-
is metal.
I mean, it's aluminum or a hard.
It's just the thick.
It also depends on the year too.
I
Of
think it's
like,
metal for safety. If
Yeah, it
was
is.
Softer metal, it could explode easier.
Well, you can't have plastic either because then the gas tank ruptures and you
Yeah.
have a big fucking problem. Because at least in a car, the gas tank is behind the engine, whereas on a motorcycle, it's above the engine.
You're sitting right in front of the gas tank. So
Right
you're
behind,
or
technically.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, behind. Sorry. Anyways, so like all that pressure. I mean, this was a beautiful dent that I created with my balls of steel.
We're gonna have to bring it to
Ball of steel.
Yeah.
And
Was there no damage to the other one, or did they just
it was bruised, but all of that pressure went
that
to
one ball?
that side.
And it was like when you crack an egg and you just kind of like mix around the egg
was-
with the
it was-
fork. That's
it
what
was a
your butt
scrambled
testicle
egg.
looked. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I had to have someone literally get flown out, like a specialty doctor to remove my testicle. So it took. Well, okay. Let's go back a little bit. I had a seizure. Started screaming my balls. I shattered my collarbone, broke a few ribs, punctured a lung, collapsed a lung.
That happens when you puncture a lung, unfortunately.
Yeah, but collapsed, punctured lung.
I mean, technically, you punctured so there's a sac around the lung that basically makes the pressures equalize, and if that gets punctured, then your lung will collapse into
Yeah.
your chest cavity, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Until you can equalize the pressure by putting in something to the outside pressure, which will cause the lung to inflate again.
Yeah. So.
Because I believe the pressure in your lungs is lower than air. That's why you're able to suck in.
But the main problem that they were looking at was my head, because I landed on my head and I could not remember, like I was repeating myself. I think it was like every 5 seconds for
probably concussion.
a few
which
days,
is normal.
and they were really concerned about a brain bleed, and so they immediately rushed me in because I was not there.
There's the 22.
That's a good one. No, but anyway, so like that's all what happened. It took 6 days to get out of the hospital. A month later, bought a bike because I didn't want fear controlling my life, and I didn't want to let fear get in the way of something that I do thoroughly enjoy, and it does help me relieve my stress. Now, what brought from all of that current accident, I struggled with a lot of anxiety, depression. I mean, before I had anxiety, but it was nowhere near this bad. And then kind of a new monster. I've explained this to you, but like survivor's guilt, man. Survivor's guilt is, in my own opinion, worse than depression.
I still wonder if they both feed each other.
I mean, probably. I mean,
I think survivor's guilt
just,
also is like how you see yourself.
It's also, it does not help that my dad died.
Well,
It
shit.
adds
Yeah.
a lot more, but I have also since the accident, and having the survivor's guilt and whatever.
The survivor's guilt happened after the accident,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just got worse when your dad died.
Well,
I'd
when my
imagine
grandpa
it would.
died,
Yeah.
a few of my riding buddies actually passed away from a few accidents, and they weren't, one or two of them weren't nearly as bad as mine, and they passed. It's just how it goes, like I have to learn to think like that. It's just the way it goes. But I mean, it's unfair because I should not be here and they should be here, because I had a very traumatic thing that, I mean,
I don't know if this will help you by saying this, but almost, I think one way to try to help alleviate some of that survivor's guilt as far as people not being here versus you being here, just live your life every day as if they're with you.
that's
And you're
that's what I
trying,
try to
almost
try
like
to
you're
do.
trying to prove yourself to them in a way, but also to yourself.
I mean, I try to do my best every day, but I have days where I definitely lose and I just sit in bed and I just don't have the energy or,
Oh, that's just depression. Trying to get up
Yeah.
in the morning after, oh my God.
yeah, I mean,
There was a time, and this was probably about a year ago, where I would wake up and I wouldn't get out of bed because the dreams were more comfortable to me than just living.
Yeah,
It was the weirdest thing. Like
you
I
get-
was
you get
I was
comfortable.
so like, I don't know what's the way to talk about it. It's like it was so more relieving to be in a dream than to be in reality,
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
and then also,
Well, my dreams kept getting really weird too. Like they were
Also-
getting very, not psychosis in a way, but like they're getting pretty close to what was happening in life, but still far enough away that you could tell which one's dream, which one's not. But it was starting to converge. I'm like, oh shit, better not.
Also the dreams and the problem sleeping that I have too.
Yeah.
I could bring that up. I get like 3 to 4 hours of sleep every day, or roughly. That's about the average. Just because my brain, it's not necessarily even thinking. There's times where my brain is just constantly going,
Yeah.
and that's understandable why I'm up. And then there's times where it's literally flatlining up here, but I'm not sleeping. Like I'm comfortable, I'm relaxed, I'm tired. My body's tired, my eyes are tired, but
No, I'm saying that's probably why.
no, it's not.
How-
Because I've
I'm
cut
just
it
gonna-
out.
I'm gonna say
I've gone weeks without Coca-Cola.
without caffeine.
Yeah. Because I'll just drink milk or I'll drink water or put flavor in water just to.
I mean, some of the flavors in water, like
Yeah,
I
have
showed Justin,
sugar.
have caffeine. Some of them do.
Well, yeah, but these are just like the protein, not the protein, but they're just like they have.
And maybe it's not
vitamins.
caffeine, but for the most part, caffeine, how it works, it doesn't give you energy. It just prevents you from
But
falling asleep. So,
most of the time, what I do to try to help me sleep is I get like a warm glass of milk and just kind of
and if he doesn't have milk, he
Sip.
just busts a nut and just.
natural milk, baby. It just from there, I have night terrors. I have sleep paralysis. So like when I am asleep, it's terrible, and I don't get any rest. And then when I'm awake, and my life's a living hell, no matter what. So it's just kind of like there's no relief in my life really that I can get away from my stress, because when I'm sleeping, it's horrible, and then when I'm awake, it's horrible, just different.
Yeah, I don't know how to solve that shit.
Yeah,
Not a psychologist or a doctor at this point.
But it's just something that I've had to grow or like just learn how to deal with and just kind of.
Do you reflect often? Just like sit down and see what happened last year, where you're at, what happened, that kind of thing. And it doesn't have to
I
be
know
like
what's-
everything that you remember, but like reflect just a little bit.
I mean, I know what's like what's happened in my life, and I take stock of it, and I'm very aware of everything that's going on, and I bring it to light in my head, and I'm like, okay, I got all these things I can't fall into, and which I should give myself props more often, but I mean, just getting out of bed and like getting out and actually doing things that I do, it takes every ounce of my body, like every ounce of my being.
I mean,
just to
the
do
only
the most
reason I
simplest
ask is
things.
because if you don't ground yourself in where you're at,
Right.
you'll constantly feel like you're missing the mark.
But
But you
it's
just
like-
you're not addressing all the good things that happen along the way.
What-
So you hyper focus on all the bad things.
Well, what's hard is like there's really no significance, like anything that stand out and that I'm like, oh, like there's.
I don't think that's true. I think every day that we live, there's at least something significant every day. At least one thing that you can point out, like, you know what, I did good there, or you know what, I fucked up there. But there's at least, just even at the end of the day, you're like, okay, that was a shitty day, great. But I mean, sometimes it's
every day that I'm not in my bed is a good day, even though it's a hard day, it's
Yeah.
a tough day.
so you should. It's like give yourself a little bit of crumbs and
But
cookies.
I'm
Every
saying-
time I get out of bed, that shows how strong I am. I need to keep doing that.
Yeah,
Just the
but
reflection to ground yourself where
there's
you're at.
times,
Well,
where
yeah,
I can't.
but you can't beat up yourself when you can't.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
it
thing.
just sucks because
strive for being able to get out, but don't kill yourself because
when
you couldn't.
when I'm also out, like it gets worse because then I have the anxiety, and then I have like all of the and then I get.
Do you know where
really
your
just-
anxiety stems from? Because for most people, it's typically one or two things. Either they're really worried about
It's-
something that's going to happen, or I don't know what's my source of
It's
anxiety.
not. I don't really know. Like I just all of a sudden just get like really, really anxious at times. Like I'm just like I don't want to be here. I don't want to. There's almost no words. It's
Because
just kind of like
Because
it's
your
overwhelming.
mind is trying to find something that's wrong with your and sometimes it could also be because of mental illness for the most part. Sometimes that'll also bring about anxiety. But if you're healthy, and I would say that you're probably healthy, even mentally, to a degree,
to a
that
degree.
your source of anxiety would have to be something that's not necessarily physical or neurological. It has to be something in your life that's causing the anxiety, and finding it is pretty tough. It's like trying to look needle in a haystack's the wrong analogy. It's more like a field of hay, and you got that one needle and you got to find it. It sees you and it moves every time you try to figure out where it is. That's what it feels like.
So I mean, I just take one day at a time, and I try to set goals, but it's hard planning my life because my life is so unpredictable. I mean, life is unpredictable, but like there's some people that plan their lives and it goes to accordingly. Of course, there's speed bumps, and that's just the way it goes. But with mine, it's like healthy dad, all of a sudden, gets sick 1 month later, dead.
Yeah.
It's like, but
Yeah.
there was no sign, there was no leading up to it. It was just all of a sudden, like he was like, okay, I'm sick, like I have trouble breathing, I'm gonna go to the hospital, and then I never saw him again until he was dead, and I got to see him, and that was weird. Definitely seeing your parent dead in front of you.
Probably happened too fast too.
It did, and he didn't look like him, so it was very odd because it was like, wow.
Because it was like, well, a year ago everything was fine, and now it's just
not even
dramatic
that, like
shift.
a month.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, my life is just all over the place. I mean, I don't really know where to go and what to tackle in my life. what do you start on when there's so many like giants around you? It's like, which one should I take down first?
You take down the smallest one first, so you know how to take on the next one and the
But
next one and the
that's
next
the
one.
thing. Like every single one of them in my head are probably about the same height. So
Then
it's
you
kind of like I just got to start.
You have to address the thing that you can first. And I don't know if anyone listening knows this name, but Jordan Peterson puts this pretty well. It's like, get your room in order first.
I don't know.
So pick the thing in the room that is the easiest thing to address first, whatever that might be. And as you fix that, you can then move on to the next thing. Don't approach it like David and Goliath, where I see this giant in front of me. It's like David didn't just face the giant. He'd been facing the giant his entire life, and he was
Right.
prepared for it. He didn't just one day, I'm a kid, I'm gonna fucking kill him. It's like no, he set himself up for that because
I understand.
every
I was
day he
just
lived.
using that as
Yeah.
more of a metaphor. It's
And
like
for most people, like what she was saying, is she just takes a shower. It's one thing to do in the morning. It's also make your bed in the morning. There's more importance than just making the bed, because you're setting up a task for yourself to do at the very
Right.
beginning that you can complete, and immediately now you've still done one thing that day. So everything you do for the rest of the day is just bonus.
also like when I'm like out of the house for like a long period of time, like I'll get exhausted and then I'll start once I start getting like, I'm not talking for like a long, it could just be like 4 or 5 hours and I'm just like, I need my bed.
Yeah.
Like I need to go to my bed. Like it's not necessarily that I'm tired or sleepy. It's just like I'm exhausted. I've worn myself out with just the mental capacity that I can handle with
Well, you're
today.
probably tired because you're not sleeping.
Well, yes, but then then you just can't sleep at all. You know, like it's like I could be exhausted, but then like I go and sit in my bed and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like the fuck.
I don't know what it is, but I know there's got to be something underlying, something that's you don't see, but it's there, and you just got to address it. Once you do, a lot of relief will come from it. But I don't
Like
know what it is.
I am trying. Like it may.
Have
not
you allowed
seem
yourself
like
to
it.
grieve yet?
No, because there's been no time for me to grieve. Literally, there's not really been.
Are you distracting yourself?
Like it's just not coming up yet. Like I gave myself like a few weeks, you know, just to try to process or whatever, but it wasn't doing anything. I was just kind of like, doesn't change anything, you know, and it wasn't helping. It was almost, I was getting into like that slump again. And so what I try to do every day is just acknowledge that my dad was here. I try to just have like that moment with him and being like, okay. And then also like, it's still weird because like I'll come home and I'm like, there's something different. What is there different? Oh yeah, no dad.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean-
there's times where I totally forget that he's not dead, and then I'm like expecting him to be, you know, at my house or like to just pop into my room or like whatever, you know, like this. It's just weird.
Feels unreal.
Yeah, it is. It's a very unreal, but it's not like, I don't know.
It's hard.
It's so hard to
for-
explain what that feeling is like.
It's hard
Really,
to.
you just have to go through it to understand.
I think it's also because,
But everyone
especially
grieves
with
differently.
guys too, is we set up mental blocks for ourselves to try to
Yeah.
numb ourselves from pain or any sense of emotion. So because we've been practicing for such a long time, when something finally comes up that we should be, we don't, because we're like, I have all of these safeguards in place, and now I can't even when I want to. I can't be
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
vulnerable. I think for most guys, it's like, I can't be vulnerable because if I am, then someone will seek my weakness.
I mean, you know, that is hard because, like, you know, I can get into a deep talk with you guys, like a deep topic with you guys. Like I can. Very deep.
That was a bad burp.
Yeah, it's a little weak.
Shame me.
I always knew you were a little bit weak.
Oh yeah. Oh, where's that from?
I
Always knew you're a bit weak.
always knew you were a little bit weak.
Where's that from? It's a meme, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
Shit. Oh yeah. It's the guy whenever it's like a school shooting. Oh, I can't remember what name he said. Oh, that's such a shame. I really liked her. Oh, Dave, I always knew you were a bit weak. That, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But I mean, even facing myself, I don't really, from what I noticed, I don't allow myself to grieve that much. That's probably also contributing to my depression.
I never even grieved with my grandfather. Like he was my world. Him and my dad were my world.
Yeah.
I think what gets me the most is when I try to look into the future or like plan ahead. Is like, wow, like I'm not gonna have a dad at my wedding.
Yeah.
I won't. My dad will never even get to see me grow up, become the man that he, taught me to be. He'll never see me do all these accomplishments. I think that's what hurts the most.
Yeah. He won't get to see the legacy he left
He won't
behind.
get to see, like, my kids won't be able to play, go over to grandpa's house, and I won't go on another family vacation and have my dad there. I won't experience a lot of these things, and it's kind of surreal, to be honest. It's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
and just like little accomplishments in my life. Like, I just want to go and talk to my dad because he was really that one person in my family that I've always talked to or could talk to, really. And it's like, with my business, because it took off. Like, I was trying to get it going when he was still alive, and then he died, and then right after, like, it took off, like it kind of went open. Now all I wanted to do was just go and tell him, hey, like, look what I did, like, it's just very weird.
Yeah.
So I think just not having them there in my future life.
I mean, you can answer this however you want to. I'm just going to ask this question. Do you, I guess is right? Yeah. Do you feel guilty if you allow yourself to grieve?
A little bit.
Yeah, I do too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
Is it even for me to grieve? It's like, yeah, I have that shit a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
it's so irrational too. It's like,
yeah.
It's like if you look at anybody else, like the way of seeing if whether or not what you do is rational is if you look at someone else in the same scenario that you're in and you know exactly what they should do, but you don't do that because for some reason, like that's a big source of figuring out if whether or not what you're doing is rational. I mean, should you feel guilty about being?
I think what was more frustrating for me is after my accident, after everything, my mom just like accused me of just like going out and partying, drinking, becoming a alcoholic and like a drug addict. And I was not doing any of these things. I was literally just hanging out with my friends.
Was this after?
It was after my accident, because that's how she thought I was coping.
I'm pretty sure she's just afraid of losing you.
She's just
because
afraid.
I mean, think about it. If your kid's in the same situation, they get through that. Now you're going to be really protective of them because you've seen how close they've come to death, and now you want to protect them as much as possible.
I understand that, but like, I'm also very different. She knows that I vape and everything, but she thinks like I'm already used to. She thinks now that I've kind of explained why I vape and everything, it's kind of acknowledged to her. She's like, I understand it's not healthy. I want you to stop. Yeah. But I want you to do it, when you can. Because I was doing great up until my dad died. Like, I was on 3 nicotine off of 50. Like, I was planning on quitting. Like, I was doing really well. And literally, like, I had, like, that much left in, like, my tank or whatever it was. That day he died. And I was going to go to 0. And then I was like, nope. Relapse. And ever since then, I've just not cared to really stop, because just the anxiety is increased tenfold. So I'm like, because I was starting to become a lot better from my accident, and I was starting to get a handle on things, and then that happened, and it just brought everything just like intense, you know,
Yeah.
and then I started having night terrors. I started having sleep paralysis, all these new things.
Not to be a dead horse, but I think that most of the time when we're having a problem sleeping or weird dreams, there's something that our mind is telling us that we need to either address or do. So, like, for me, a lot of the time, if I was super anxious, it was always my brain would set up the scenario as if my anxiety was ruling everything. So, the common one was I had an exam the next day, and almost every dream that I had leading up to that exam was you missed your test. Every time
It's
for
not
me.
like that.
Probably not for you, but for me, it was telling me that I'm so hyper fixated on this anxiety, and my brain's telling me, hey, there's something in the back of your head. Hey, you need to not forget that. And just
Right.
yeah, I think most of the time dreams are a source of. It's like you could even say maybe it's divine intervention, just poking and prodding, like you need hello,
There's-
like kind of getting you. Just kind of hinting at something, I think.
So like this morning, I actually had a really, really bad nightmare or whatever you want to label it as.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, it was really weird. It wasn't like a night. It wasn't my normal. You know, it wasn't a night terror. It wasn't sleep paralysis because I wasn't awake during it. It was just like a regular nightmare, but it was a little worse. And it sounds really funny, but it actually freaked me out a lot. For whatever reason. And it was the world basically ending, but it was with zombies. But like, that sounds kind of funny, but like, I'm not shitting you. These zombies ran like 30 miles an hour. And you know what caused them to turn into zombies? Well, I woke up and I was like,
Well, dreams don't make literal sense.
no, they don't. But like, anyways, what turned them into zombies was everything in our food, the chemicals. So like when
Turning
you
the
drink,
frickin' frogs gay?
yes, no, like the chemicals that we would ingest, like they put all these things, you know, like Coca-Cola was one ingredient, you know, and a bag of certain food was another. And then if you were to eat these, and then the vaccine was also involved in it too.
Interesting.
And the vaccine was the final ingredient that you needed to become a zombie. And then all of a sudden, you know, the world got vaccinated. And then I'm not shitting you. This is the way it went. And then I was literally in Costco in my dream. And then all of a sudden everyone's screaming, running. There's literally arms, blood, just it was very intense, very graphic. Like
Yeah.
it was actually terrifying. And then I was there with, I think, my mom, and I literally piggybacked my mom on my back, and I was like running. But then like it was like a movie. It was literally like a movie playing out.
Yeah.
And I, for whatever reason, I hopped into this person's minivan. They were like, opened up the door, and I was running out of Costco. And then one was starting to run after me from a distance, but like it was catching up real fucking quick because they were running, and like they could run so fast in my dream. And I get my mom down, and I like throw her in, and then like I dive in, and then they like close the minivan door on my like ankle, and then like the zombie like grabbed onto my ankle, so it snapped my ankle. And then like but I could like, it was weird because like I woke up and I was like, I almost felt the pain of like everything, but like that it was weird. Like after that dream, my body ate.
I had a dream last night too, but it was stupid, but it wasn't like that.
And this dream went on forever, and I only got it, like it felt like it went on for days, like this dream. But I was only asleep for like 3 hours. Like it was intense. It was an fucking tense dream. Like,
You know what? What my dream was about last night was so stupid.
but at the end, I died of the dream.
Yeah, it's common.
I sacrificed.
Sacrificed his body to
I
Allah.
sacrificed myself, but also someone stayed with me, and it was just a random person to like get everyone else out. So it was a very odd, weird dream.
Some people can interpret dreams pretty well. I don't think I'm one of them, so I'm not going to even say anything along that
I don't even know
regard.
what you could take from. I mean, sure, like,
Other than
my
maybe
fear
darkness
of-
looming and coming after you kind of thing. Like, you feel like something's coming to get you. Typically,
But-
if you're running away from something, that means that you're not addressing something. Is most of the time what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was just it was wild. I haven't had.
You know what it means? It means you're gay. That's what it means. Okay. Oh,
If that's all.
modern day psychologist right for you. Everything, every dream, everything. It's because you're gay.
You're turning the frogs gay, bro. Like, stop. Because
was
you're
close.
gay, you're turning the frogs fucking gay.
He was close. Oh, my dream was so stupid. So I don't even know who was there. I barely remember it.
I wasn't in your dream.
I don't think so. But we were catching something,
Makes me
like some kind of fish.
okay.
But it wasn't the main objective. I was trying to just get somewhere, and a fish jumped up and bit me. But it didn't look like a normal fish. It had like a shark's head, so it was really tiny. But it had like a normal fish's body. It was the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know why. For some reason, I keep having fishing dreams. Like huge fucking fish you've never seen in your life, and you're like, I got it, with no bait, nothing, just a hook. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Interpret that shit. I don't know.
Everything you catch is small, just like your penis.
But I caught huge fish, so
You
my
caught crabs?
penis is huge. What?
You caught crab?
No, I never catch crabs.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Mm.
Fire crotch. It's not there yet. I thought we were close to 4. I'm getting real tired.
I'm not. What are you doing?
I'm reading.
I see.
I guess that's good advice. Oh, is there more? Oh.
As I say, I'm not tired. I yawn.
What?
It's just lack of oxygen going to your brain is why you yawn.
No. That's not why you yawn.
It's why.
It's a psychological thing. Human beings yawn when they see other human beings yawn. They also yawn
but
when
you
they're
didn't yawn.
tired. What?
Yeah, but it's also like a lack of oxygen.
I don't think it's lack of oxygen.
It
I'm
is.
pretty sure your body is good enough to know
Because
when
when-
I need to take a breath in and when I need to take a breath
you're,
out.
When you're when you start to get like exhausted or whatever,
Yeah.
your body yawns because you're relaxed. You're getting relaxed, and your body needs.
Yeah, but you
to
don't
get
think
off.
about your breathing normally, so I don't know why it would change that much.
I mean, I yawn even when I'm not tired. Like I'll yawn at work. Like what? Like
I think there's 3 reasons why you yawn.
Randomly.
Someone else did. You're tired, or you're anxious, or anxious about something
I'm
specifically.
anxious because you're next to me.
Don't be, because that is never going to happen. I shut you down like I shut down that 17-year-old. Okay, that might happen.
That's good. We got our
Okay.
priorities straight. That's good at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, dreams are fucking weird, man.
Like I said, most of the time it's your brain telling you, hey, you need to address something, fuckhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. Some dreams, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Some dreams, it's like, well, I just ate a whole bunch of shit before bed. It means nothing.
Yeah.
I love
Like
the ones
my-
where you're like a superhero and you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I never
Have you
have
ever had
those.
those?
Mm-mm.
I've had those so many times, and every time I
know
wake up,
what's-
I'm like,
You know what's really weird? Every time my sister has chocolate before bed, she has a nightmare.
chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
It does have caffeine.
I'm not sure it's the chocolate that causes her to have a nightmare. I mean, chocolate will give you a dream, but whether or not it's a nightmare, I don't think that's what it dictates.
It's Satan's chocolate.
What?
Satan's chocolate.
Yeah. Even though she's probably eating different brands of chocolate, it's not like Nestle's chocolate is Satan's chocolate. And even if it was, then I would have nightmares too, so.
I can't even have chocolate. It makes me sick.
How? Have you tried dark chocolate?
Yeah, that's even worse.
I agree. It's worse.
But
Like it with okay.
but you
I
can
risk
drink
it.
hot chocolate. That's the
I
weird
can
thing.
drink hot chocolate. I don't feel the best, but if I actually eat, because there's milk in it, like there's
Not in
other-
dark chocolate.
not in dark chocolate, but I'm saying like with hot chocolate, there's other things.
Oh,
There's-
okay.
there's
To
milk.
dilute the
To dilute the
cow
chocolate.
cow.
But I mean, I don't always feel the best after drinking hot chocolate, but it's just so good. Like I can't. Like honestly, like
I feel like a lot of people do that.
yeah.
It doesn't make me feel very good, but I just want it.
Yep. But no, like eating chocolate straight, like
Do you eat chocolate gay most of the time?
yes, I stick it up the poop chute.
You make sure you get chocolate,
Get
you
all
melt it
those
down, put it in a penis
other
mold, and then just
I mean, it's like a bachelorette party, basically.
hell yeah. Do you hollow it
Gummy-
out so you
gummy
can like
penises?
fantasize about
That's what
know?
we should have had at your bachelor
what
party.
peanut, like a whole bunch of
Gummy
what did we
penises.
do? I don't even remember what we did for
We
bachelor party.
Went to the mountain.
No,
and
that
we
wasn't.
went
That was a
hiking.
no. That wasn't a bachelor party because my wife was there. That's not a bachelor party.
That was during my birthday.
No. We went up to the mountain
No,
right
first wedding.
before
Right
my
before the
wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then some Karen's like mask,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Up
really?
on the mountain?
On the
fuck?
mountain in broad daylight, this lady with a bandana's like mask. I'm like, normally I don't say anything. I just keep walking, but I was like, really? And I just kept walking so badly. Like, why are you even here?
Okay. For anyone that wants to debate the mask, if you don't think a fucking fart, if you're wearing a mask and you fart and you can still smell it, you don't
It's probably not working. Probably not.
fucking genius. People are, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and people won't even know how to wear it properly.
yeah.
They touch their fucking mask all the time. They bring it down, put it in their pocket, take it out of their pocket, put it back on their face. It's like, yeah, you're protected from a virus, you
Also-
fucking idiot. You didn't wash your hands at all today.
Like,
Good luck.
I'm sorry, like the people that wear masks in the car alone.
Oh my god. And then you realize, okay, I remember this quote. It's from a comedian, and I think it's George Carlin, I think. And he's like, okay, everyone, think about the average person and how smart they are, right? And you're like, well, they're average. They're still pretty stupid, though. Half of the entire population is dumber than they are. Half. Think about the average person. How smart do you think they are? Half of them are dumber than that person. And all of them are wearing masks inside their car while they're alone.
We're just clowning. I just
No.
personally think it's ridiculous. That is my own belief. If you wear a mask in your car,
It just looks so stupid.
cool. But I prefer oxygen and not having a full breakout, and also like
Oh my god.
when I wear a mask, even for like an hour, breakout around my mouth.
Not only that,
around my
try having a
nose.
beard and wearing a mask. It's one of the most uncomfortable things.
It's okay when I
It's so
have my hair,
scratchy.
because I normally just have my hair shorter. Like I just keep it shorter,
Yeah.
except for the mustache I just recently trimmed. But no, like it itches so fucking much. It's like
It's like we have a reason not to like them. It's not like we're just anti-mask. It's like, no, it fucking affects our life more than people
yeah, 'cause,
understand.
like it gets so hot, it makes me break out. I personally don't feel like
I don't feel like
going
it's
back.
helping me either.
well like that, and also like with my anxiety, like it does. It's like I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I'm not claustrophobic by any means, but
Well,
it's like
even for me or people like me, it's like I can't read your lips. What did you say? What did you say?
Yeah,
what did
you
you
can
say?
barely hear 'em,
What
too.
did you say? I can't. It's. Could you? Okay, I got it this time. It's
yeah,
like,
and it's also like muffles their voice, especially when someone talks so quiet,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
they have a mask on top of that. It's like, what?
yeah. What'd you say?
It's like
Or
so frustrating.
the other negative, I think, is kids. It's like
Oh my god.
kids are supposed to learn,
Why?
and people somehow forgot this. Kids have to learn expressions from those around them and how to use them properly. If you don't know what a smile looks like, or a frown looks like, or pouty face, if you can't see someone's face, their entire face,
Yeah.
you're gonna fuck up that kid as far as socially speaking, because whenever we do finally take the masks off, they won't know if whether or not you're happy or mad. So you're basically making a whole bunch of kids who aren't autistic into autistic kids, really, because they're not going to be able to socially, like, and maybe there's a learning curve, maybe eventually they get there, but developing, you got to be careful with anyone that's developing, because you fuck that up, it could live with them for the rest of their life. So the masking of kids I never understood.
Yeah.
It's like not a good idea. Not a good idea at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's not, yeah.
Again, that's not to say I'm not pro or anti, really. I just don't like it because for myself, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't.
After going through a microbiology class, I understood that viruses are much smaller than the human eye can detect. And if this is not droplet, but in fact airborne, then the mask doesn't work anyway. Because, I mean...
Yeah, but if a fart can get through your underwear, your pants...
Yeah.
Like, how do you not think that a virus is going to not get in? Like, how I was raised is I'm going to let my body, and just how I think in general is like, I'm going to trust my body is how it's built to do, is to fight the natural way.
I had a bad
Shut
joke.
the fuck up.
I had a bad joke.
Shut the fuck up.
Bad joke. Not going to say it.
Shut
Not going to say it. You might have
I
punched me
already-
for that one, and it was a dad joke. But
Say it.
Like, don't wait a minute.
I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
No, I can't. It's so mean.
Do it.
I said it. Oh,
Do it.
fine. Fuck it. Well, it didn't work out for your dad. Now did it? Boom! Roasted, Dad!
I knew you were going to say something like that.
Come on, Steve. Your immune
wasn't-
system should have done better than that.
No, but I mean, no, it wasn't because he got pneumonia
Yeah.
and,
I mean, how many times he's fought it, you'd think his body would recognize it,
no,
but,
like he's had pneumonia like 3 or 4 times.
well, I guess bacteria can change from strain to strain, but still.
Anyways, I'd
that
rather
topic?
die letting my body do the natural thing that it's built to do, is to fight. And also, I'm not
There's
someone...
varying degrees to that. If, God forbid, Ebola shows up, I don't care how effective the vaccine is at that point. I'm not going through that shit. Ebola, 50% mortality rate. Your insides literally melt from the inside. Fuck it. I don't care what's in the vaccine. Fill me up, daddy.
No, like... I don't know.
But that's not this.
But I'd rather just have, And I also, I would be more okay with the vaccine. I would not get it just because I have only gotten the vaccine for Malawi when we went to Africa. That's the only vaccine I've ever gotten in my life. Ever. Never gotten a flu, never gotten anything. And I rarely ever get sick because also I've played in the dirt my whole entire life. I have a manual labor job. I'm disgusting. I eat food with disgusting hands because you don't have time to go wash your hands, and you're also not always in a position to wash your hands.
Yeah.
And you just got to do with what you're given.
Yeah.
And your body just builds up that tolerance to fight things.
Yeah, if your body can recognize it fast enough, then you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, don't tempt fate. Don't go around
exactly
having sex with everybody because it's like, well, my body will deal with it. STIs. I don't need a
STIs. What is this, a Subaru?
No, they're called STIs now. Most of them because they're curable to some.
Subaru drivers. Yeah.
Exactly. Which one are you, gonorrhea or crabs? Chlamydia.
You got the gonorrhea version, or you got the crabs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is it red or blue?
Oh man.
Oh, we're almost at 4 o'clock, baby.
You can read this last comment on here.
What?
That comment on the bottom.
Comment? He won't let it happen because he wants to steal your butt egg. Wait, what?
That was when you're...
I know we
You're
made a
still
butt
at the-
egg, but
I'm trying to remember.
what were we talking about?
Yeah.
He won't let it happen because he wants to steal your butt egg. He won't let what happen. I mean, if you're still listening,
Are you still-
Let it go, but I forgot it now. I was gonna bring it. It's just
I'll read through all the comments and I'll be like, oh, but right now it's like,
No, the butt baby.
What?
The butt baby.
Yeah, I know that's the butt egg, and
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know why she
Oh,
said it this
Austin,
time.
And Brandon rejected you.
Oh yeah.
And then
Okay.
it went like this.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Kid
all
at
right,
the
yeah,
poop shoot.
Yeah. Okay.
We're following now.
Well, it's Justin. You better get ready. Well, it's 4 a.m. So see
Love
you next
you.
week, fuckers.
Bye bye.